Hi. How's everybody doing? Happy Thursday. Yes, I did a little swoop to the side. I want to see how that goes. I don't have my hat on today. I didn't feel like going in another room to get it. But anyway, happy Thursday, everybody. I'm back with another live with Dana with the data. All right, so this is still me running a test. I went live, of course, Mondays with me and Judge Joe Brown, Monday nights for Man Up Monday. Didn't go live Tuesday because my hair was still a mess. Went live yesterday on Wednesday because I usually do Dana with the Data on Wednesdays, but I was doing it in the evening and I did it on Wednesday afternoon, and it was very well. I had a lot of viewership. And maybe it could have been a topic with Diddy. So my goal is to go live with Dana with the Data Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 3 p.m. And of course, the panel for Friday night and Mondays with Judge Joe Brown. So those are the live streams Monday through Friday. And we're going to see how it is. So this is Thursday. This is really my first Thursday doing a live in the afternoon. So I'm curious to see the reception that I get. Yeah. So hi, Drew Rose, hi, says Nork Finest. Yes. Hi, Life Path Numbers. Hey, how was the Beyonce concert? It was fabulous. It gave me life. It gave me everything. She's wonderful. She's the greatest performer of all time. Yes, I said it and I stand by it. Hi, Mo. They knew do got me going crazy. Woof woof. Okay. All right, so listen, we're gonna talk about Jasmine Crockett coming for Melania Trump. We gotta talk about this new Wonder Boy in New York City, Zohran. What's his name? Zohran Damn something. Let me pull it out. Where is it at? Zohran Ma'am Danny, the socialists. That's what I'm calling him, a hardcore socialist. Yeah. He is an immigrant. He is Muslim. There's nothing wrong with being Muslim, honey. But his ideology, is teetering on, the socialist, progressive, liberal, too blue to be true, the AOCs and the squad and all that stuff, right? So yeah, he won the Democratic primary yesterday. He beat out Cuomo. And now, of course, the current mayor, Mayor Eric Adams, he launched his reelection campaign today and he's running as an independent. Yeah. And I want you guys to go and support Mayor Eric Adams, right? And so we're gonna talk about it. Oh, and then somebody called Trump daddy, right? I'll sprinkle that in. Yes, Crockett versus Melania, the showdown. Yes. Hi, Flo. So, guys, please hit that like button. Share this video on all of your social media outlets. And I also have a goal in the chat. So, my goal, I put $5, $10 super chats, and I will host a live call in show. So, that is the goal. And if you just want to support, please support. The Cash App is $ Dana with the data. I would be highly appreciated. And of course, you can follow me at the real Dana number 7 on Instagram, on X. Yeah. And I'm also on TikTok, but I have not been promoting that. A couple other things, a little bit of housekeeping. In my community section on YouTube, we have a section for you guys could go and type and stuff. But most likely I will start promoting that tomorrow, right? Because I have to get acclimated with it myself. So let's get into it. Cause honey, I want to start with Miss Crockett. I gotta start with Miss Crockett, honey, because she like, girl. Yeah, she's that. And the thing is, Melania Trump is not gonna respond to her. She made a cute little point, Jasmine, but Melania is not gonna respond. For what? She's first lady. She doesn't have to. All right. So wait a minute. What I'm doing here? All right, here we go. So Jasmine Crockett has some words for Melania Trump, criticizing her modeling career and her US citizenship, and she is getting dragged for doing so. So I want to play the whole clip of what went down. I'm sorry, honey, but these congressional hearings are ghetto. They're ghetto as hell. Uh, Here we go.
You so much. It's interesting that we're being accused of wanting all kinds of criminals to be on the streets, or that we don't believe that people should show up to their meetings and appointments. Last time I checked, there's a lot of people that are actually being grabbed as they are going in for their appointments. In fact, we know that one of the candidates that was recently running in this mayoral, he ended up being arrested because he decided that he was actually going to escort people that are actually showing up to their meetings. Or we know that the Pope, yes, the Pope himself, decided that the church may need to have people that are going to escort people as they're going into their meetings, because the reality is that what they are claiming what they want to do versus what they're actually doing, the actions don't match up. And while we are supposed to be talking about visas, somehow we continue to cherry pick and talk about one criminal act and another criminal act. And it is so very interesting to me that, yes, we will say people are xenophobic, because when you start to decide that just because somebody came from another country, they are automatically some kind of criminal, that does sound kind of xenophobic to me, because you are using a paintbrush to paint an entire group of people where the vast majority of them are coming here because they are actually seeking a better life. But let me get to what this hearing is supposed to be about. The idea that Trump and my Republican colleagues want to restore integrity and security in the visa process is actually a joke. Let me be clear. Integrity is not snatching lawful visa holders off the streets and throwing them into unmarked vans. Integrity is not revoking visas based on social media posts that hurt somebody's little feelings because kids decide that they want to go after Trump or this administration. We have a thing called free speech in this country. And since we're talking about integrity, I'm confused as to why my Republican colleagues aren't talking about the lack of integrity when it comes to the president's family's visas. Let me remind y'all that Melania, the first lady, a model, and when I say model, I'm not talking about Tyra Banks, Cindy Crawford, or Naomi Campbell level, applied for and was given an EB1 visa. And what's that stands for is an Einstein visa. Now, y'all that don't know, let me tell you how you receive an Einstein visa. You're supposed to have some sort of significant achievement, like being awarded a Nobel Peace Prize or a Pulitzer, being an Olympic medalist, or having other sustained extraordinary abilities and success in sciences, arts, education, business, or athletics. Last time I checked, the First Lady had none of those accolades under her belt. It doesn't take an Einstein to see that the math ain't mathin' here. Nevertheless, what Republicans are doing with this reconciliation process, the travel bans and revoking visas, jeopardizes our national security. It threatens our communities, our higher education, and our economy. Visas like the largely vetted J visas for higher education and M visas for trade, training, attract the.
So let me just stop right there because I think it's like another 2 minutes. So the big elephant in the room, and this is why I'm not a Republican. I mean, this is why I'm not a Democrat anymore. And I would never support Jasmine Crockett in her party because they refuse to admit what the problem is. The problem isn't Donald Trump telling ICE to do their job. Donald Trump is not causing national security or violating anybody's rights. Donald Trump is trying to keep America safe because the Biden administration is the ones who made this nation a security risk by having open borders. And they always just jump over that as if it never existed, as if it never happened. So when she talks about, oh, he's preventing this, he's preventing that, he's violating people's rights. Illegals don't have rights, but they do have due process. But you broke the law coming here illegally, which means you are a criminal. You don't get to apply for asylum. You don't get to apply for citizenship or green card or residency. You don't, because you did not come here the legal way. And so that is for 10 million plus people who came here in the last 4 years under the Biden administration. But they just gloss over that as if it never happened. And now you want to throw Melania Trump. But Melania Trump came here the legal way. You may not agree or you may not think that, okay, she didn't deserve the Einstein um, immigration, whatever visa, but she got it. And I do believe she did have a college degree. But either way, everything what she's saying is all bullshit. It's bullshit. And they're literally creating a brand new narrative of Trump is violating people's constitutional rights. He is causing a national security problem. He is snatching kids from their mothers and snatching people up. He is separating families. They're really trying to make Trump look like the bad guy to deflect from who the real boogeyman is, and that was Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. So she's delusional.
The next innovators, medical providers, researchers, and educators that we need to build on American success. I'm not gonna mess up your name, so I'm not doing that. But I'm with you, okay? In your experience, do individuals on J or M visas typically improve or impair our economy?
They generally improve the economy, and I can give a brief example. My wife is a very successful woman. She makes a ton of money, which I'm grateful for. And the reason why we're able to do that while having 3 children is because of the au pair visa, somebody who is here on a J. Okay. Who is here and able to supply this for us. But I also want to defend Melania real quick. Not everybody could marry Donald Trump, and I think that's quite an achievement. So I think she deserves credit for that. Nobody up here could have done it.
You sure right, I couldn't do it. But anyway, in fact, J visa holders contribute $43.8 billion to the U.S. economy and support more than 300,000 jobs. And make no mistake, immigrants improve the health of U.S. citizens too, despite the fact we already have a doctor shortage. Trump's reckless travel ban and visa overhaul are exacerbating this crisis by impairing hundreds of hospitals with foreign-trained doctors set to do their residencies here in the United States, meaning fewer people will get the help they need and more people will die. Now, let me remind you that Republicans are trying to gut Medicaid. Roughly 4.5 million people receive caregiver services through Medicaid, and most of these folks are in red states. And wouldn't you know that in 2023, Kaiser Family Foundation estimated that almost 30% of long-term care providers or home caretakers were immigrants. It's like Republicans want Americans to suffer. Now, Republicans say visas make us less secure, but let's talk about how visas given to victims of crimes like rape, murder, human trafficking, torture, abduction, kidnapping to help law.
Yeah, she's getting on my nerves right about now. Jasmine talks too much. Jasmine Crockett talks too much, which is why she ended up losing, right? So here's the thing. Recently, U.S. Representative Jasmine Crockett put a bid in to be the top Democrat on the U.S. House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform, ended abruptly when the congresswoman announced that she dropped out of the race following a preliminary recommendation vote from her colleagues. She couldn't even get enough preliminary votes from her colleagues. Her own colleagues were not supporting her. So the Monday vote among Democrat members of the House Committee on Steering and Policy resulted in Yeah. Damn, I'm so sorry. It's this sound always goes out. I don't know what it is. Can you guys hear me now? Where did I leave off at? Shit. Democrat member. Yeah, halfway through the thing. Oh my God. I'm reading them juicy lips. Damn, I'm so sorry. Oops. Okay. Yeah, so you guys can hear me now, but I'm so sorry. It's this thing, it goes in and out. I don't know what it is. All right. Thank you. So I was reading the article. I was reading an article of Jasmine Crockett. She lost the vote to be the Democrat House Committee, the U.S. House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform. She ended her campaign because she couldn't even get enough support in a preliminary. Her own party does not want to see her in any type of leadership role. They don't. She's not. It's not that she's not likable, because she's probably a nice person in real life. But when you see her at these congressional hearings, or when she's doing these events, or she's being interviewed, she thinks having a sister girl moment every single time she's in front of a microphone is going to create her a strong following of supporters, but it's actually doing the opposite. And I don't understand when she's going to get it through her head that if you act like you have some class, stop acting like you're angry all the time. Because we're not angry. The majority of the American people are not angry because our guy is president and Republicans control Congress. Now, if you're only talking to your constituents, that's the problem. Because you need to be talking to all Americans, and she's not. And her reputation, she has pulled a lot of stunts in Congress, arguing with her other colleagues across that aisle, not saying that they're any better, because Marjorie Taylor Greene is just as bad, but her guy won. But no one wants to see Jasmine Crockett in a leadership role. And it's not because she's a woman, and it's not because she's Black. It's because she does not know when to shut the fuck up.
Oh,
You just voted to do
Y'all did
it.
it first, so you don't
just
want to talk
voted to do
Say
it.
you're gonna have
Order,
Marjorie
order.
on
I'm
the
trying to
lead.
get clarification.
Look at, calm down. Calm
No,
down.
because this
I
is
would
what
like
y'all
to get through
do.
proceedings.
So I'm trying
Hey,
to get
Miss
clarification.
Crockett, you're not
Y'all wanna
recognized.
play
Miss
games.
I can't hear
Crockett.
you with your
And
yelling.
you don't want
Calm
me
down.
to be,
Can
no,
you please calm
don't
down?
tell me to calm down.
Calm down.
Because y'all
Please
talk
calm
noise,
down.
and then you
You're
can't
out of
take
control.
Because if
Look,
I
Chairman,
come
can we
and
send
talk
outside to
shit
take a
about
break
her,
for 5
y'all
minutes?
gonna have a problem.
Mr.
Order.
All right,
Order.
Chair,
I don't know why
okay.
you're
Order.
acting
Chair
like
now
that.
recognizes
Not cute.
Miss Green for 4 minutes and 21 seconds. 4 minutes. Let Miss Green talk, and then I'll recognize.
But I
on
moved
this
to
side.
strike her words for a second time based on her second set of personal remarks attacking another member.
Who? Chairman Comer.
Because you all cannot
I have an
seem
amendment at
to
the desk,
apply
and this
the
sideshow
rules of the
needs to
committee.
stop.
We have to do this every time.
Hey,
Miss
I'm
Green,
recognized.
listen,
I'm recognized.
order.
I'm going to
Listen,
go ahead and start talking.
Look, I know. Look, I don't know if you've noticed it. I have 2 hearing aids. I'm very deaf. I'm not understanding. Everybody's yelling. I'm doing the best I can. Can we not recognize Miss Green and let
We
her
cannot because of the rules of the committee, Mr. Chair. That is what I'm trying to communicate in the present moment.
We have a okay, what's the motion? What's
The motion.
So again, Jasmine Crockett and her behavior, what do you call it? And I don't want to keep saying the word ghetto, but that's the first thing that comes to mind, is just because it's the opposite of having any type of decorum. She seems angry all the time, and I could tell that it's all for show. I don't want to hear anything about Donald Trump and ICE. They're doing their job. When your girl was VP and she was the border czar, she did not secure the border. There was no excuse. How can an incoming president secure the border at 98% in less than 30 days. But they never want to talk about that. Why? Because they wanted millions of illegals to come into this country so that they can stack Congress on a federal and the Senate on a state level. Ratchet. Yes, ratchet. And the Democrat Party, you're right, Mimi. Dana, don't you understand that this is how Democrats see Black people? They think you are all ghetto and love when Jazzy acts ghetto. Yeah, that's exactly how they see us. That's exactly how they see us. I don't even think she went to a HBCU. I think she went to some university in Texas where she sued them for prejudice, discrimination, and racism, yada, yada, yada. So, yeah. She lost the race, and that was just an House committee. She didn't get enough support. She had to get enough support from her own party. It was like, no, girl, sit down. Just sit down. We don't want you. And then on top of that, you want to bring up Melania and Trump. Basically, she's saying she's dumb and she wasn't on supermodel level like Cindy Crawford or Ty. Girl, bye. She don't need to be supermodel. She was married to a billionaire and she's first lady. Her resume is always going to surpass Jasmine Crockett because of that. I'm sorry. Like she's giving a spotlight for her to have a problem with white women or white people. You love talking about them so much. You love putting them and you love putting their names all in your mouth and giving them spotlight. And here go Trump. I have an idea for the Democrats to bring them back into play after years of being left out in the cold, including suffering one of the greatest losses in history, the 2024 presidential election. The Democrats should nominate low IQ candidate Jasmine Crockett for president. AOC +3 should be respectively vice president, and 3 high-level members of the cabinet added together with our future communist mayor of New York City, ZOHRAN MAMDANI, and our country is really screwed. Yeah, of course she had to respond, thanks for your vote, blah, 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 but nobody cares. Jasmine, nobody cares. Now, they do care. They do care about Trump. People cannot get enough of Trump. They love having Trump name in their headlines, coming out their mouths, posting on social media because it brings in engagement and views. And lately, because Trump was at NATO, apparently, the president of NATO, called him daddy. Oh, here we go.
Fight like 2 kids in a schoolyard. You know, they fight like hell. You can't stop them. Let them fight for about 2-3 minutes. Then it's easier to stop them.
And then Daddy has to sometimes use strong language.
You have to use strong language. Every once in a while, you have to use a certain word. Fight like 2 kids in a schoolyard. You know, they fight like hell. You can't stop them. Let them fight for about 2-3 minutes. Then it's easier to stop them.
And then Daddy has to sometimes use strong language.
You have to use strong language.
Okay, so it sounded like he said that daddy have to sometimes use strong language.
Then it's easier to stop them.
And then Daddy has to sometimes use strong language.
You have to use strong language. Everyone.
Okay, so he wasn't trying to call Trump daddy per se, but of course, again, because he's Trump and the media loves him, a reporter at NATO during one of his press conferences asked him about being called daddy.
Go ahead, back white, yeah. White jacket, yeah. Go ahead, give my mic. Hello.
Deborah Haynes from Sky News. Mark Rutte, the NATO chief, who is your friend, he called you daddy earlier. Do you regard your NATO allies as kind of children?
No, he likes me. I think he likes me. If he doesn't, I'll let you know. I'll come back and I'll hit him hard, okay? No? He did it very affectionate. Daddy, you're my daddy.
Do you regard your NATO allies, though, as kind of like children and
So yeah, he was just he was being cheeky because he said, because Trump referred to they're like kids, and he was like, yeah, and your dad coming in telling them, hey, cut it out. So he wasn't calling him Daddy Trump, right? However, listen, this is why the press and the media love Trump, because he used Usher's song Daddy's Home, because this went viral, of Trump being called daddy. I think I have it here. Let's see. What is this? Here we go. All right, we ain't playing the whole thing because monetization. So yeah, this is why he gets the media attention, because he knows how to capitalize when he goes viral. He capitalizes off himself. Yes, other people do, but he knows how to take advantage of it. So I'm pretty sure Usher ain't have a problem releasing that song and the record labels, because that's a whole lot of money that he's going to be getting. But he made fun of it. He made fun of it by taking Usher's song Daddy's Home and using it to his own benefit. And I don't blame him. Daddy's home. Yes, everything's going to be all right. But you got Jasmine Crockett trying to kick dirt on his wife because she's mad. Girl, your own party did not want to support you as House Committee, an oversight. That would be the people to oversee Doge. No, they said, sit your ass down. Let's put the Latino / Hispanic. We're going to put him in that position. We're going to put him in the leadership over you. Is Jasmine Crockett going to come out and say, well, I have a problem with my party because they don't want to support a Black woman, but they're going to support a Latino, the same Latino / Hispanics that you are fighting to keep here, the illegals to keep here? Their community, whether they're legal or not, don't want to see you in leadership at all. But you're fighting so hard for these illegal migrants to stay here in this country. And the ones that are illegal, who are in office, whether it's local or federal, they don't want to see you in any type of leadership role. But you're still fighting for their people to stay here, to replace you, to take your power away from you, or to make sure that you're never in no type of position of power. Really? And that is why I don't support her. That is why I don't support the Democratic Party. Now, who is ZOHRAN MAMDANI? Because he is apparently the new wonder boy for the Democrats in New York and throughout the nation, the whole party. Because last night he won the New York City Mayor Democrat preliminaries. So he beat out Cuomo. And so now him and Eric Adams and whoever's running on Republican is going to face head to head to try to be elected mayor of New York. So he won the Democrat preliminaries yesterday, and everybody's going crazy. Let me see if I can pull this up. Where is it? Oh no, I have it here.
Because I think that New Yorkers, more than they hate a politician they disagree with, they hate a politician they can't trust.
On the subject of trust, you've adopted different speaking accents in different scenarios.
But they go to their local bodega.
Is there one that's real and one that's affected?
What I would say is, as any immigrant knows, having been born in Kampala, Uganda, and then raised in South Africa and moving here when I'm 7 years old, is there are different parts of my life.
A worldwide tour is a worldwide tour is a worldwide tour.
Mamdani was talking about a worldwide press tour back when he was a rapper.
Bring the flavor to the fish, bring the flavor to the rice.
In a Disney movie directed by his mother.
Nepotism and hard work goes a long way. Here in New York City, this is how I speak.
Who is this man? Who is this man? Because for me, he just came out of nowhere. So it says Mamdani describes himself on his campaign website as a Democrat socialist. He's made a fight against the establishment of Democrat Party, a cornerstone of his primary campaign. So his website lists the following as his platform planks. Let's share this. An immediate rent freeze for all rent stabilized tenants, the elimination of fares on city buses, creating a department of community safety and investments in citywide mental health programs and crisis repurpose, a 2% tax on residents earning above $1 million annually, rising the corporate tax rate to 11.5%, overhauling the mayor's office to protect tenants so as to tighten code enforcement on landlords, and fast tracking affordable housing development, establishing city-owned grocery stores. That sounds crazy because you already have city-owned grocery stores. Of course, AOC has endorsed ZOHRAN MAMDANI. Brad Lander, who is the New York City comptroller, and he's the one that backstabbed Mayor Eric Adams 2 years ago to the Biden administration. That's how he had a falling out with the Biden administration. Letitia James, Jamal Bowman, and former Secretary Robert Rich, they all support this guy. And I'm just trying to figure out, and he's Muslim, right? It's nothing wrong with you being Muslim, but I can tell you right now, his focus is solely on immigrants and the illegals. That's it. That's it. Now, Black voters who pick ZOHRAN MAMDANI when Cuomo, Adams, and the old ways weren't enough, right? This is by the Griot. The Democrat Party could learn that connecting new generations of Black voters will require more than traditional political methods or assumptions. Cuomo may have won with Black voters, but a certain segment is ready for a change. So there is a chart. I thought it was a chart here. Wait a minute. I thought I had the damn chart. No, what happened to the chart? All right. So Black voters, not only was Cuomo's money not enough, but the promise of racial representations in the mayor seat wasn't enough either. Despite there being 5 Black candidates in the race, not including Mayor Eric Adams. No, that's not what I wanted. I wanted the numbers, and I had the numbers I could have sworn I had the numbers. Or maybe this is just the wrong damn article. No. No. I don't know. I thought I had the numbers for this guy here, but I don't. Either way, the majority of people that voted for, how do you pronounce his name? ZOHRAN. The majority of people that voted for him were the young and older white progressives. The young and older white liberal progressive. And there were some black people, and of course, Asians. But there were a lot of black people that voted for Cuomo. But this guy here, ZOHRAN, he is not he's only pro-immigrant, and that is the problem. Now, New York City demographics, 30% of New York City is white. Hispanic and Latinos make up 28. Black or African Americans make up 20%. Asians make up 15%. So within all the 5 boroughs, New York City, it is very mixed. White people are the majority, only by 2%, then the Hispanics. So the Hispanics and white people are going to support ZOHRAN because he is an immigrant, which is why you're going to get the Hispanics, and AOC endorsed him. And white people, they just love socialism because it really doesn't affect them, especially if they have money. Black people only make up 20%. I don't know the exact percentage of black people that voted in the primary for ZOHRAN, but why would you vote for him and not Mayor Eric Adams? Mayor Eric Adams is the best candidate for mayor to be reelected for Black New Yorkers, for all New Yorkers, but especially for Black New Yorkers, not this guy here. This guy here is a problem.
I think it is part of a larger referendum on where our party goes. And I think one of the hopes that we had from the very beginning of this campaign was to move our political instinct from lecturing to listening. You know, at the national level, after the presidential election, we saw that New York was actually the state with the largest swing in the country towards Donald Trump, 11.5 points, and that swing took place far from the caricature of Trump voters, instead taking place in the hearts of immigrant New York City. And I went to those neighborhoods. I went to Fordham Road in the Bronx and Hillside Avenue in Queens, and I asked those New Yorkers, the vast majority of whom were Democrats, why they voted for Trump and what it would take to bring them back to the Democratic Party. And again, what I heard from them was cost of living, was an inability to afford the very things they recalled being able to purchase 4 years ago. And when they told me what it would take, they said again and again a relentless focus on an economic agenda. And ultimately, in listening to them, we built a campaign that was explicitly about making this city affordable.
I forgot I was muted. I was saying New York City will never be an affordable city. It never will be. It's never going to be affordable. No matter who you have as mayor, you have to just make more money. Now, there are certain programs that they can implement, you know, to help assist with rent and other expenses, but it's never going to be affordable because the hedge fund, Wall Street, corporate, billionaires, millionaires, that is their playground. It is the #1 marketing city in the world, New York City. They have a section called Billionaires Row, and it's literally Billionaires Row because it's nothing but billionaires. that live in that section of Midtown. So Mayor Eric Adams, he understands this. And he caught a lot of flack for understanding just how New York politics work. Now, this guy, ZOHRAN, he's 33 years old. He's young as hell. Born in Uganda, then he was raised in South Africa. Claims that he moved here when he was 7 years old and was raised in New York City at the age of 7. He could have came here later. We don't know for sure. But he's only 33. And for me, he doesn't quite have an understanding of how New York politics work. But this guy here, Mayor Eric Adams, does.
Really overwhelmed about the love and support that's coming from this community. I need you now. 4 quick things. 1, I'm going to send in this message my donation page. Please go make a donation and send it out to your friends and families and groups. 2, I'm going to attach my volunteer link. Anyone who desires to volunteer, click on that link and it allows you to sign up and be one of our volunteers. 3, I want you to post me on your page and send out messages to people that you know and that support of what we are doing. And 4, one of the most important things that we can do, I want you to ensure to come out to my announcement tomorrow, steps of City Hall, 12 p.m. Be there or be square.
And he did make an announcement today. And I do want to play some of Mayor Eric Adams' announcement.
I want to first say thank you. Thank you. You fucking criminal! You fucking criminal! And move up through the ranks in the police. Listen, all my life, people have been having moments of trying to distract me. They tried to distract me when I couldn't read. They called me a dumb student. They tried to distract me when I went with clothing with holes in the shoes and cardboards in the soles. They called me poor. They tried to distract me when I got arrested as a little boy and beat by police officers. They called me a criminal. They tried to distract me when I wanted to study and move up through the ranks in the police department and fight for reform. They said it wasn't possible. They tried to distract me when I became a state senator. Tried to distract me when I became the black borough president. They tried to distract me when I became the mayor. And no matter what distraction they threw at me, God has made the pathway for me. So you can call me all the names you want, but I'm going to answer to only one, Mayor Adams. look at people from all corners of the city in different ethnicities and faiths and groups. Not people who read about me, but people that I have touched individually, that I stood in hospitals with, that I looked at their families and made their lives better. Look at the display that's here of different languages and different cultures. All of us wanting the same thing. I'm so proud to be here to say to the people of the city of New York, I am seeking re-election to be the mayor of the city of New York. Take you back. Take it back. Because many people have selective amnesia. So I want to take you back. January 1st, 2022, when I became mayor, there was this thing called COVID all over our city. You could walk down avenues in business districts and you see businesses were closed. And people were unsure. We were all wearing masks. People were debating. Should our children be in school or not? But as a leader that was unwavering, understanding the most safe place for our children were in school buildings, I stood strong and firm against the naysayers and said we're going to open our schools and we'll protect our children and we'll continue to educate them so they won't continue to have the learning gap that COVID put on them and the socialization that they need. We saw leadership and focus. Crime was moving at a higher rate. Businesses were fleeing this city. There was a level of uncertainty. Black and brown unemployment was high. Black unemployment was 4 times the rate of white unemployment. We saw a lot of uncertainty. Guns were proliferating in our city. We were burying young people at disproportionate numbers. We didn't have the housing that we needed. All of these issues were facing us, and we was inherited that. January 1st, 2022, I was sitting in this building with my leadership and said we must forge ahead a pattern and a pathway that people needed to once again believe in the city again. And I saw that before. I didn't just start doing this. I saw it when Mayor Bloomberg came into office, when our center of trade was collapsed and our poverty was matching that collapse. And he turned around the city with real leadership and focus. And I knew I had to have that same leadership and determination and focus. And that's why we're here today asking for not 1 more year, not 2 more years, not 3 more years, but 4 more years. Didn't grow up with much. Born in Brownsville. All right. Yeah. My mother cleaned houses and worked in a daycare center where she took leftovers home to feed us. My siblings and I were little and we shared all we had. I wasn't born into power and privilege. I was born into struggle. Come on now. Always knew what struggle was. If you're going to be a mayor of people who are going through a lot, you must be a human being that has gone through a lot. That's right. And we experienced a lot of pain as a child. I rose through the ranks and became a captain. Worked every day to protect the city that I love. Later served in the state senate, and then as Brooklyn Borough president. I didn't chase fame. I chased solutions. Whether it was fighting food insecurity or improving housing or lifting up working families, something that I continue today. When I became mayor, it was clear to me that what we were facing and how we had to turn it around. And one of the most important partnerships that I developed were the partnerships I developed with our faith-based leaders. Yeah. They knew something that I knew. Prayer works. Yeah. Many would look down on it and don't see the connection between prayer and government. I'm afraid of a mayor that don't appreciate prayer and the power of our faith-based leaders. look at all the things we were facing. Ask yourself, what have we achieved? Let's talk about what we've done over the last few years. Talk about it. We brought down crime. The last 6 months have been the lowest number of shootings and homicides in the history of the city. And what does that mean for those of you who are here? All right. Think about it for a moment. Who are the victims of shooting? Who are the victims of those who are shooting? So when we took 20,000 guns off our streets, we took it out of the hands of black and brown people, and we prevented the loss of lives of black and brown people. This impacts you. It impacts those of you who are here right now.
All right, I want to stop it right there. So here's the thing. What I noticed, a lot of people standing around Mayor Eric Adams are older, the older oligarchs, whether it's Black community, Hispanic community, it doesn't matter. He needs to go to younger voters as well. He needs to go to the younger voters as well. His opponent, one of his opponents, he's 33. He's already young. So he kind of knows how to speak to younger people. And ZOHRAN is going to mold himself as if he's one of them, right? I don't think he is. Now, make no mistake about it, no one should trust any politician because they're all liars. But ZOHRAN is going to paint Mayor Eric Adams as the old oligarch establishment and paint himself as this new, fresh of air, young person that's fighting for the people, which is all bullshit because Zohar was an assemblyman and he didn't do none of the things that he's talking about doing now if he were to become mayor.
He will say and do anything to get elected. Think about this for a moment. He wants to raise 1%. He wants to raise tax on 1% of New York's high-income earners. As the mayor, you don't have the authority to do that. You know who has the authority to do that? An assemblyman, which he is. He wants to do free buses. He could have done it at assemblyman. He doesn't understand the power of government and how you must making sure you improve your economy, raise the standard of living. And this is what we've done in the city. And I'm looking forward to being on the campaign trail and showing New Yorkers we can't go backwards. And New Yorkers never surrender or quit. I'm never going to quit for the city that I love.
I do believe him. Now, all politicians are crooked. They're all liars. They're all dirty. That's not the point here. It is Mayor Eric Adams. He has an opportunity to do what Mayor Dinkins could not have done. Mayor Eric Adams has an opportunity to be reelected and have 2 terms as mayor of New York City as a Black man. Mayor Dinkins lost his I don't even think Mayor Dinkins even ran for re-election, but that would be significant. And on top of that, you cannot just be pro one particular group. This is also the difference between Mayor Eric Adams and ZOHRAN. You cannot be pro one particular group. Mayor Adams is for Black, he's for Hispanics, he's for the immigrants, he's for the Asians and the whites, he's for the corporate, he's for hedge funds, he's for everybody. Because he knows what makes New York, New York. Everybody is important. You have to cater to everybody. Everybody has different needs, which is why a lot of the hedge funds have already declared their support behind Mayor Eric Adams because they do not want ZOHRAN, the socialists, to be mayor of New York because that's going to hurt their business. So this is going to be interesting, the mayor of New York, you know, how this all plays out. I need to actually myself create content catering to the New York City mayor race and their candidates. I didn't really do it today because it was just basically highlighting who is ZOHRAN MAMDANI. Who is he, right? He is a problem. But I'm going to go back to my own drawing board and just lay out in details why Mayor Eric Adams has to win and what will essentially happen to New York if he doesn't. Mayor Eric Adams was the only mayor and governor out of all these sanctuary cities and states that stood up to the Biden administration when he was president in the middle of this migrant crisis. He was the only one, and he got blackballed for it. And that's when you started seeing the RICO allegations come down on him. And then he was like, you know what? Trump was right. And so now he does have the support of Trump. I think, he is an independent. So it's the unseen support. But he was the only one that stood up to the Biden administration. All the rest of them just folded and kissed their ass. So he takes risks. He put himself out there. He learns from his mistakes. And I respect him for that. Don't trust him. I don't trust any politician, but I respect that he knows how to stand his own ground. He knows how to stand on his own 2 feet as a man. Have to respect that. So I think he has a very good shot being reelected. Republicans usually are not elected mayor of New York. That's a long stretch. Independents, yes, because the last independent mayor was Mayor Bloomberg. And I think he's had 3 terms as an independent. So yes, Mayor Eric Adams has a very large shot of being reelected as mayor. Yes, Biden destroyed New York, not Adams. Absolutely. Biden destroyed New York. And he was the only one out of all those mayors, out of New York, out of Boston, out of Denver, Colorado, out of all the mayors of these sanctuary cities to stand up against Biden. Yeah. I want to highlight this. Jamal Bowman. He was a House representative until he got voted out there because he is supporting ZOHRAN.
Catholic pro-life ministries.
So Jamal Bowman, he already gave his support behind ZOHRAN Mamdani, the socialist. And that is the same reason why Jamal Bowman lost his seat when he was trying to run for re-election in his district in New York. His district is majority Jewish people. But you want to be part of the squad, the only guy in the squad, and be on this pro-Palestinian trip. And that wasn't going well with your district. See, a lot of times you have to learn how to read the room. Who are your constituents? These are the people that are going to continue to send you the Congress, your district. So why are you running around here toting talking points that goes against the people who are going to be voting for you into office? And that is why he lost his race. And so now he's a commentator on CNN panel talking about, of course, white supremacy and Black oppression. The Democrat go-to.
Catholic pro-life ministries bombed.
We are not dealing with America's original sin and its disease of hate and racism towards Black and brown people and sexism towards women and anti-LGBTQ sentiment. We are not dealing with that. Your colleagues in the Republican Party do not hold each other accountable when it comes to the racism that comes from the party on a consistent basis.
Congressman, I mean, where are you on
You can't be calm about this. I'm a Black man in America. The reason why heart disease...
I'm white, I can't comment
Listen
on
to what I'm saying. The reason why heart disease and cancer and obesity and diabetes are bigger in the Black community is because of the stress we carry from having to deal with being called the N-word directly or indirectly every day. If your colleagues would listen and try to learn and engage and grow and stop being so hateful, we could have a better country.
Jamal,
but unfortunately, we're still here.
Jamal,
it's coming from one side.
Jamal, I feel your passion and I understand where you're coming from sincerely. I really, really do.
It happens on both sides, Jamal. You might think it happens more on your side. Jamal, when I leave the show, Jamal, you should see my Twitter feed. And they're acquitted. Rodney King, Abner Louima, Eric Gardner, Trayvon Martin, black cops in Memphis. It's not the same. And I don't want to qualify or quantify pain. That's not what I'm talking about. Everyone goes through pain. But the racism in this country is a disease that will destroy us. And it's destroying us right now as we speak. January 6th, everybody was pardoned. Everybody's pardoned. Riots in L.A., they're insurrectionists. But we pardoned everyone January 6th.
So, Congressman,
this
I was
is
there
America.
January 6th.
What is this man talking about? You don't get high blood pressure or diabetes because somebody called you the N-word. You just don't. I'm tired of, and I'm slightly older than Jamal Bowman, sorry. And I'm tired of my generation and younger, especially people who are in these political spaces, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, but it's mainly Democrats, always using race as a clutch, always using Black victimhood as a clutch to try and make your weak point. Black people do not have high blood pressure or diabetes because of the N-word. If we're specifically talking about diabetes and high blood pressure in the Black community and the Black population, it is because food deserts. Food deserts. So if you want to bring in public policies, Black people live, 99.9% of Black people live in Democrat cities and Democrat states. Not Democrat states. 99.9% of Black people live in a Democrat city, in a Democrat district. So that would be your party, Jamal Bowman, that is contributing to Black Americans' diabetes and high blood pressure and all of these ailments because of racism. What has your party done, plan on doing, or doing now to combat that? Nothing. And they're the cause of it. Since we want to bring in the government, food deserts, whether you have no local grocery stores or the grocery stores that you have do not sell proper healthy foods. You don't have a decent supermarket. That contributes to diabetes and high blood pressure. Lifestyle. When you're Democrat cities, such as the city of Newark, and you give out approvals for liquor license to liquor store owners at 100% rate over anything else, which is why you have a liquor store in every corner in Newark, New Jersey, in the hood, predominantly Black areas, which forces people to drink more, going back to lifestyle, which definitely increases heart disease, high blood pressure, and diabetes. It goes back to public policy. Public policy dictates your education, how long you're going to live, how far you're going to go with your education, your work, where you work at, how you work, what kind of work you're going to be doing. Public policy affects all that. Definitely when it comes to the criminal justice system. So what is the Democrat Party doing? You want to keep blaming white people? But my district and city hall and political officials, they're all Black. Memphis, Tennessee is one of the Blackest cities in the United States. Everyone is Black. From the courts, from the police, from the Board of Education, everybody is Black. And these public officials' seats. But then when you look at the crime rate, when you look at the literacy rate, it's high. Poverty is high. And these are Democrat-run districts. So what is the problem? Who is the culprit here? You're going to keep blaming white supremacy? You're going to keep blaming a white man? You're going to keep thinking that we're living in 1940 or 1930s, or you're going to keep thinking this is slavery? No. Like, can you come forward in the 21st century in the year 2025? And let's really talk about the problems. Let's really talk about what is causing diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease at a higher rate in Black communities. What's really causing that? It damn sure is not the N-word. It's not.
Catholic
And the
pro-life
problem
ministries
is
bombed.
we are not dealing
Catholic
with
pro-life ministries
America's
bombed. You're
original
right.
sin and its disease of hate and racism towards Black and brown people and sexism towards women and anti-LGBTQ sentiment. We are not dealing with that. Your colleagues in the Republican Party do not hold each other accountable when it comes to the racism that comes from the party on a consistent basis.
Congressman, I mean, where are you on
You
the, where are
can't
the
be calm
assassination
about
attempts?
this. I'm a Black man in America. The reason why heart disease...
I'm white, I can't comment
Listen
on
to
that.
what I'm saying.
And it's funny because he keeps saying he's a Black man in America, but you were elected into Congress by non-Black people. The majority of your constituents are non-Black. Where's the racism in that? Where's the injustice? I don't see any. Now, they kicked your ass out because you were not advocating for their needs. And that's why you were not reelected, because you were not doing your job. See, these congressional representatives, whether it's in the Senate or in the House, you represent a district in a state. That's how you got there. And part of your responsibility is advocating for your constituents, the people who voted you in. And when you stop doing that, aside from Black American voters, when you stop advocating for them, they're going to vote you out. The only people that keep voting you in over and over again are the Black Americans, Democrats. But that wasn't your district. Your district was Democrat, but they were non-Black. They were Jewish. They were white. These are people who are business owners, who are homeowners. Yeah. But now you want to get on CNN and say racism, white supremacy, and the N-word is causing diabetes in the Black community.
Why heart disease and cancer and obesity and diabetes are bigger in the Black community is because of the stress we carry from having to deal with being called the N-word directly or indirectly every day. If you're...
That is so not true. Yes, you could get cancer, heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure if you are under a lot of stress. But it's not because you were called the N-word. You're probably unemployed. You probably have a lot of bills. Maybe you are a single parent. It goes down to finance, lack of economic mobility, something that the Democrat Party refuses to acknowledge and try to improve for Black America. Because Black Americans are at the bottom when it comes to economics, when it comes to wealth, when it comes to income, when it comes to education, when it comes to debt, we have the most debt. Yeah. So your political party never addressed these needs. The stress is an economic stress. It's a financial stress, not the N-word.
Your colleagues would listen and try to learn and engage and grow and stop being so hateful, we could have a better country.
Jamal,
but unfortunately, we're still here.
Jamal,
It's coming from one side.
Jamal, I feel your passion, and I understand where you're coming from, sincerely. I really, really do. It happens on both sides, Jamal. You might think it happens more on your side. Jamal, when I leave the show, Jamal, you should see my Twitter feed.
I mean, and they're acquitted. Rodney King, Abner Louima, Eric Gardner, Trayvon Martin, Black cops in Memphis. It's not the same. And I don't want to qualify or quantify pain. That's not what I'm talking about. Everyone goes through pain. But the racism in this country is a disease that will destroy us. And it's destroying us right now as we speak. January 6th, everybody was pardoned. Everybody's pardoned. Riots in LA, they're insurrectionists. But we pardoned everyone January 6th.
So, Congressman,
this is America.
Well, the riots in LA, no one was arrested and charged with a federal crime. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? They didn't have permits. So, he goes again, going back to that old diatribe of January 6th, of the N-word, of racism, yada, yada, yada. And it is your party that caused all of this discernment. It is. So, yeah. Democrats, I think for me, they definitely need to come up with a whole new narrative. The Democrats just need to rebrand themselves. They really do. And one way you can rebrand yourself is actually showing some humility. And by way of showing humility is actually admitting we messed up. We neglected the American people and put our focus more on the illegals and the people crossing the border and migrants and immigrants. But they're never going to say that. That is a great strategy. And that is a great way to rebrand yourself is through humility. But their egos is way bigger than Donald Trump. And we all know Donald Trump has a very big ego. But he is such a genius when it comes to marketing and branding that he knows humility. Throwing yourself at the feet of the people will get you their support for life. You win the crowd, you win your freedom. The movie Gladiator. Absolutely. When you are able to win the crowd, you become victorious. And guys, that is it. Yeah. My notes are just scattered everywhere today. I don't know. I don't like the way I wrote out my notes. Need to construct this a little bit more. And what I was going to do, I was going to use this show as a guinea pig for the call-ins. And then I'm like, no, I didn't feel like going through all that. And I should have did it. So what I'm going to do is tomorrow night is the panel. And I'm going to do a test late morning, early afternoon tomorrow of the phone lines. And then start taking phone calls next week. Yeah. So I think, and I may come back today with the phone lines. I don't know. But yeah, so again, this is me testing out Dana with the Data in the afternoons. Wednesday was great. I haven't tried it Tuesday. I'm going to go live on Tuesday. I actually went live one day on Monday. That was good. But now that the judge is back from vacation, we're doing a man up Monday nights. So next week, you'll see me live again tomorrow on a panel on Fridays and then on Tuesday. And then you'll see me and the judge Monday live. This is all for live. So I'm just trying out some new stuff. Thank you. Let me highlight this. Thank you. I don't know. It's not a name. I stand firm in what I believe in on this earth. Thank you so much. And it looked like that's a picture of a computer. I'm not sure. Yeah. Oh no, it's a milkshake. It's a green milkshake. So thank you. All right, guys. I have some more work to do. And so thank you so much for tuning in. How people going to run a business. Yeah. Thank you, Dash. Yeah. I will see you guys tomorrow night for the panel. And make sure you check out Injustice for All is going to premiere tonight at 9 p.m. So I'm going to upload that in a minute. And everybody enjoy your day. What made me say, I like your hair. Yes, thank you. Thank you. I don't know why she's attacking because she don't have nothing else to say. She always attacks Trump, so now she's going to go after his family. That is why her own party don't want her in any type of leadership role. She's ghetto. All right, guys. Let me do my outro here. Okay, not yet. All right. I will see you guys tomorrow night. Bye. Enjoy your day.